I'm only taking one step at a time towards healing myself. I had to get out, I found a way out. No more living in pain or misery. It's all about protecting my energy. Keep the negative away from me, because I am just keeping my peace. Cut off everything that no longer was serving me, and I chose to start loving myself. I walk in my purpose, no looking back, I'm only going within. Be.O. standing there, a better version of me. I must say that I'm proud of me. It's not about how you feel, I'm living proof that God is real. So let me show you how to heal. Damn it, I'm wearing it well, cause I came a long way. My journey isn't yet complete, that's what it look like to heal. Damn it, I'm wearing it well, I'm proud of myself. It's nothing to it, you can do it, all you gotta do is just fight through it. Create a soul, create a soul, create a soul. Just fight through it. Create a soul, create a soul, create a soul, create a soul, yeah, yeah.
Welcome to Pain to Purpose podcast, where we have open discussions to heal together as a community. We are on our author series, and today is episode 16. And our special guest is Jess the Author. Welcome, Jess.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You are welcome. How are you today?
I am amazing. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank
Glad
you
to
for
hear it.
I'm excited to have you on and to hear about your story and all that you have to offer to the community and these amazing books that you have. So let's get into it.
All
So
right.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am Jess the Author. I have been writing honestly since I was a kid. I wrote like my first poem that was published on something when I was 8. And I've always been an avid reader, so reading and writing just went together.
Mhm.
I published my first book though in 2020. Um, but it was honestly one of those things like we were in, we were shut in and all these things, and I'm like, all these authors are popping up writing books. What am I doing? Like I have this book, I have this manuscript that I had started back in like 2018,
Mhm.
and it was just sitting there. So I was like, what am I doing? I need to push it out. So I published the first one in 2020, and we've been publishing books ever since.
Okay, good. So tell us, what's the
Mhm.
name of that book? What was the first
So
one?
the very first one is Oh No Not Again. So this was the very first book that I published in 2020.
Okay. So tell us about this latest book that you have.
So the latest book number 4, is called The Pastor's Secrets. And The Pastor's Secrets, okay, this is it. And what's so crazy is that there was a video that circled around TikTok like maybe a couple months back, and I was like, oh my gosh, my book has happened in real life. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. A scene from my book actually played out in church. And it was just, it was one of those things like, oh my gosh. But honestly, the Passive Secrets, I wanted to tell the story differently, right? So I read a lot of Christian fiction books. And a lot of times it's always a story of, the pastor cheating or the pastor doing something deceptive and the wife leaving him losing everything, the church, the family, the dog, all these things. And I was like, you know what? I want to tell it differently. Like I want to really focus on, forgiveness, and really forgiving somebody, right? And grace, um, extending grace to even people we feel like we shouldn't. Um, and second chances and love, so I wrote it from a with a different angle. And so I've already gotten some feedback and people are like, oh, I see what you did there.
So you know I'm
So
gonna have to get that book, right? You know,
yeah.
I need to order that book. And so this is the thing that people don't understand is that even when a book is juicy, right? There's
Mhm.
still a message in that book.
Yes.
And I think sometimes people get so caught up in like, okay, we love the Lord, we
Yes.
worship God, but when you go to the movies and you watch that movie, um, and I'm gonna use Tyler Perry for an example because I
Okay.
like Tyler Perry shows. I like some
Mhm.
of his shows and some of his movies, right? And
Okay.
sometimes people could be so judgmental, like, oh my God, there's cussing in this, or oh my God, this is going
Yeah.
on, oh my God, they're cheating. However, these are things that happen in our real lives, right?
Right.
That doesn't mean that that person doesn't love God because they chose to write about
Right.
whatever that's in that book.
Right.
They, you
Right.
know what I mean? You can't judge a person because that's what they do for a living.
Right.
Um,
That's so true.
we're authors, so sometimes we give it to them uncut and raw, and I think I'm
Yes.
okay with that. It's juicy, but you're gonna get a message out of the juiciness. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna purchase it.
Yes, thank you, thank you. And it's so funny that you say that because I actually, my third book was called The J Spot, and so this is the third book, and that was something I struggled with, right? Even if you look, like the author name on here is Jada B, so I wrote it as a character book. Jada is from my first series. Oh no, not again! Oh no, here we go again. And so as I was writing the book and thinking about it, I was like, people are going to judge me for using my creativity as an author to tell this story. Because like, what is this Christian woman doing talking about this? What is she doing talking about that? And then I had to realize like it's a gift that I have to be able to tell a story. And it's just so amazing that I really can write in multiple genres and do well at it, to really be able to tell different stories. It is a blessing in itself, but that is something I thought about when I was releasing that book was what are the people gonna say about this one? Because it's a little spicy book, but I still love God.
Right. So I'm gonna tell you, when I wrote my book, Tears of a Shattered Heart, right?
Mhm.
I told people like, listen, this is my book. It is not a Christian book. You're not gonna find a bunch of scriptures in this book.
Mhm.
So, if you think you're gonna be offended, then this book is not for you. However, it is a book that is for somebody. It just not may not be for you, right? And that's okay. Everything is not
Yeah.
gonna be for everybody. But
Yeah.
again, I know the God that I serve. I know my heart. And so nobody can tell me, oh, you don't love God or you not saved. Or you can look down on me all you want, but I know my heart. Just because I wrote a book that was raw and uncut, that does not mean that that's my everyday life. That you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm creative soul for a reason. I'm creative.
Mhm.
I do creative things, in my writing and everything else that I do. So again, I don't judge people because you wrote a book that is spicy. Again,
Mhm.
that book may be spicy, however, it's going to teach people lessons.
Right.
It's going to teach them and show them what you went through or what somebody else went through that can help them, get through their pain to get to their purpose. So I'm not judging you on it, and I really thought like, oh my God, I'm gonna be judged when I release this book. People
Yeah.
about me because I grew up in the church. They're gonna talk about me because there's profanity in it. They're gonna talk about me because there's a sex scene in it.
Hmm.
But these same people go to church,
Yes.
and when the movie come out,
They go
they
see
be,
it.
they be on their phones or the computer trying to get them
Hmm.
tickets
Hmm.
so they can get there and see that movie
Yep.
or
Yep.
see that play, see that
Yep.
show, run to that concert. So hey,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'm gonna say it again. Everything is not for everybody. If you think you're gonna be offended, don't purchase it. But we know it is for somebody. So I
That's
encourage you
right.
to continue to write, continue to use your creativity, and honey, let the Lord use you.
Yeah, that is so true, and it's so funny because I even put a disclaimer in there. I was like, "This book is not for this group of people. If you are still here, you have been warned." Like,
You warned them. So when you get to the spicy stuff, don't be, oh my God, this ain't saved. She done backslid. No,
yeah,
you living in the real world. What you be watching on TV when you at home
right.
and watch?
Seriously. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you all right with me?
I love it.
You all right with me? We don't sugarcoat over here. Be you, honey, be you. I love it. So, is there anything that you would like to tell our audience if they are thinking about writing a book or something they may be struggling with? What gems would you drop on them?
So I would definitely say, right. A lot of people always ask me like, "So what's the first step to start writing?" And it's like I know it seems like it's so simple, but it is. Just write. Write down your ideas. If you have something you want to talk about, something you know that you want to write about, write them down. Start preparing for it. Do whatever research you need to do, and then go from there. Me personally, I do not use outlines. So I literally open up the computer and start typing. I don't write it down. I don't do those things when I'm writing my fictional books.
Mhm.
I literally let the characters talk. And that's one thing people always say, "What do you mean?" My characters, they have voices. And if they're not talking to me, I can't write their story, right?
Mhm.
So listen to your characters. Just write. I read one time someone was saying how you have to treat it as a part-time job, right? So if you're gonna dedicate 2 hours every night to write every other day, whatever it is, get you a schedule to make yourself spend that time writing. And even if you're not typing words, just the point of you setting that time aside to even think about what you want to write about, think about
Mhm.
those ideas, stuff like that. But you have to put the work in. Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
the word's not gonna just drop down on the paper. Like, you just have to write. Um,
Sure.
yeah, that's the biggest thing I would always tell people, just do it. Like, don't even think about it. Don't spend too much time like going back and forth because the more you do it, the better you will be. I just had this conversation with somebody this morning. My first book, and I wish I would have grabbed the first copy that I actually wrote, was so different. I learned so much from doing that first book. I didn't have any guidance. I self-published. So I literally went to Kindle Direct Publishing, put the information in, and just watched everything come up, right? They got the first book. The size of the book was like letterhead, 8 by 10. It was regular letter. I was like, what is this? But I learned so much from just doing it. So that I could apply those things the next time. And it's like each book has gotten better and better. Even how my writing has improved because the more you do it, the better you will be. So just do it. Just write and stick to it. That's the biggest thing I will say.
So, is there anything that you would like to share? Like, is it something that you may have went through when you were younger, or even in your adulthood, that pushed you to writing? Well, I know you talked about the pastor one, but it's something that happened within you that
Okay,
pushed
so
you.
no, and I actually had to give a disclaimer. I had to do a video on that one. Like, listen, guys, this is fiction. I promise you, I have not slept with any pastors, okay? But my first book,
Oh no, I didn't mean that. I
no,
didn't
no, no, no,
mean.
no, I no, 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 no. I know. I'm just saying, like, it's funny because I really was like, look, guys, this is fiction. This is made up. But the first one, Oh No Not Again. So I actually wrote that one. I had a breakup in 2016, and it came out of nowhere. It was so crazy, right? And the guy I hadn't been dating that long, but I remember being so upset about how everything happened. I was talking to my brother. It's my best friend, but you know we are family. That is my brother. You can't tell me that my mom did not birth him. But we were having a conversation one day at my table, and I was like, you know what? The stuff that happens, you wouldn't believe it unless it was in the book. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I could really
Mhm.
write a book about this stuff. And he was like, well, do it. Put it in the book. And so I was like, you know what? You might be onto something. So it literally just started off as like a conversation. Like it wasn't even supposed to be serious. Like I wasn't even going to publish it. I just wanted to get my grievances out. Like I wanted to talk my smack. You know, I just that's all I wanted to do. And so I started off doing this one and another one that I haven't put any work on yet or haven't gone back to. But it was like, can I help my sister out? And it was like 25 signs to know that you're dating, you know, a guy that's not hitting on anything, you know. But so that was just me talking my smack. So, so as I was writing it, telling the story, of course, putting a fictional spin on it. I started letting people read it, and they were like, "Wait a minute, you you got something here. Like, you really need to publish this. Like, no, I would certainly buy this book." And so it started off one way, with just me talking about this one relationship, and then by the end of it, I had moved the front to the back, added chapters, added other people in the book to really talk about the dating journey. Um, one thing I will say is, you know, the dating pool out here has something in it. So,
Honey, I used to say the dating pool is like going to the garbage dump. Okay, it's like going to
right,
the public service, honey. I
right,
used to
you
say that all the
know.
time. It's like going to Republic service, literally. Okay.
Yes. And so I was like, you know what? I want to talk about this dating journey. You know, I want to talk about all of these different guys that I've met and, you know, talk about those stories. And so that's how we got to Oh No Not Again was I actually put some of those stories into one book. And you know, of course, changed it and did a little extra with it. So yeah, but even before that, when you know I was in high school, middle school, I always used to write in like a play format. So it was like you know how you write what each person say, you know, more like that. So I've been writing for a long time, but it really I also believe just comes from me loving to read, you know, me having a very vivid imagination, me wanting to escape like reality at times, you know, just to have like that place to go, but I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to be anybody else, you know, just me just being in this space to just relax and you know not have to think about stuff. So you know, I just call that living in imagination land. So yeah, that's how we got to the writing.
All right, all right. Everybody have a
Mhm.
story. Everybody have a story, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So tell us what's next for Miss Jess the author.
So you know, right now, we have this goal of selling 50 copies of the Pastor Secrets by July 29th. We are at 29 copies so far.
Praise the Lord. Yeah.
Yes. So once we get to that number, I'm gonna do a raffle giveaway from my website. I also have merch. So I'm gonna, give some stuff away from there. But I
Okay,
also
hold on. You got to tell us about the merch because we want them to get everything.
right, we do. So the I have shirts and hoodies and hats and backpacks, all of these things on the website for the merch.
Okay. So what's the
Um,
website?
so the website is justtheauthor.myshopify.com.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So y'all got that. Say it one more time for them. Say it one more time for the people in the
Yeah.
back.
justtheauthor.myshopify.com for the merch. And then, do you want the one for the books for the people in the back?
Absolutely. You have to tell them so they can purchase the books because we want them to purchase your books. We want them to purchase the merch, everything.
Yes. So the books is just the author books with an s.com. So again, that's just the author books.com. Um, so all four books are there. Um, and then we have the merch website.
All
And then
right.
aside from that, I am working on another project. I'm not sure which direction we're taking it in yet. So, but I am hoping to have that done by at least the fourth quarter of this year. What is this? Okay, by the fourth quarter of this year, we should have another release coming. So, be on
Okay.
the lookout.
We're gonna have to have you back on so we could talk about the new book, whatever it is. We're gonna have a conversation about that because just some of us is nosy. I mean, just a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
All
Listen,
right.
I love it. Bring me back every time.
Of course, you know how to reach me. So is there anything else that you would like to tell our viewers?
um, I will say, let's see. You know what? Anything you want to do, just do it. Don't get caught up in, you know, thinking that, oh, what if I'm not successful? Oh, what if this fail? The only thing to do is do it. Go for it and give it your best shot because there's really you can really do anything. You can really do anything through Christ. So just do it.
So I heard someone say one day, this person is she's an influencer, and she said she was going through something. She
Mhm.
didn't know how she was gonna start it, how it was gonna turn out. She was scared, and she
Mhm.
said, "Whatever it is, do it, and do it scared." And she said that
Oh,
because she was scared, and when she was scared and nervous, didn't know what was gonna happen, how it was gonna turn
yeah.
out. But the Lord worked everything out. And so she said, "Do it scared."
Yeah, I love it.
Sometimes
I
when we
love it.
scared, so I will say
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good one. That is a good one.
Well, thank you for coming on to the show. We really appreciate you. Can't wait to bring you back for talk about everything else that you have coming up. So
Well,
you guys,
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
you are welcome. You guys, make sure you go to her websites, purchase some merch, and get those books because they juicy. But there's a message in every book that she has. For our
Everyone.
audience, I want our audience to always remember it's only pain until you start your healing journey and discover your purpose. Till next time, I will see you Monday.